Hey guys, it's Blunt Guts, and today, as you guys saw by the title, I'm going to be talking about the time where the ops caught us lacking inside an abandoned building. Now, this story time takes place around 7th grade, and if you guys don't know, around this time, I was always outside. I was a skater at the time, and I'd be 20 deep in different parts of LA, going to skate parks, skating street spots, and I'd also be trespassing on a daily basis. I mean, literally, bro, around this time, I was the bloodhound Lil Jeff of trespassing, guys. I was a serial trespasser. I would be going into every place I possibly could, climbing the rooftops. I'd be going into abandoned buildings, abandoned hospitals. I was going everywhere that I shouldn't be at. Also, during this video, I'm also going to be putting up some clips of some things I recorded while I was in this place. Now, on this particular day, me and two homies, we plotted to go to this abandoned building that we've explored a couple times before, but at this time, we wanted to explore it even deeper. Because usually we'd go there with like a group of 10 people, but they'd get too scared and they'd run out before we actually got to explore this place. Now, to give you guys a better description of what this building is like, let me tell you guys, this is probably the scariest place I've ever been to on Earth. And it's way scarier when the sun is down. Now, this place was an abandoned office building. There was like a bunch of rooms, huge rooms filled with cubicles, little hallways, all types of little weird type of creepy places inside this building, right? It was 4-story talls and it had the whole abandoned building package. Every door and window was boarded up. Graffiti was everywhere, overgrown grass, and this place literally housed like over 15 homeless people. And multiple times we ran into homeless people in there, and it's like pitch black in this place. Like, we'd run into these dudes, we would see if they're violent or not, and then we just continued down our merry way. Now, we've ran into a lot of people in this place. I remember one time we even ran into a dude playing Kodak Black full blast in his room.
At 4G, yes.
Oh my god.
Well, this is the worst.
Bro, imagine this basement.
This is a fire. Oh, fuck no, bro.
This is
While playing ping pong with the wall. Yeah, basically me and one homie, we explored it in the daytime, and there was this homeless girl in one of the rooms. We started talking to her about we were just exploring, and while we were talking to her about we were just exploring and we didn't mean any harm, we hear this loud ass intimidating voice. He started saying something like, "Who the fuck are you talking to? I'm coming right now." Like, we couldn't see the dude, but we heard the voice down the hallway, and it sounded scary, bro. It was like this thick cowboy southern type of voice. At that point, that's when we started hearing footsteps stomping coming towards us from the hallway, so we ran the opposite direction. We went down a couple flights of stairs in that pitch black, and we escaped through the only entrance, which was this small hole in one of the boarded up doors. Now, we were terrified not only because of that situation, but also because there was shotgun casings all over the building, and we did not want to see if he was the guy who was the reason for these casings that were all over the building. Now, we run out of the building because we were mad, bro. Like, we literally planned this day to be the day that we explored this place. One of our other homies was already on the way, and he was gonna meet us inside the building, so we really didn't want to waste his time, and we also still wanted to go inside. Now, the homie who was on the way, let's just call him Chris. This Chris dude is the same guy that I later backdoored in the backdoor story time. The other homie who I was with, let's just call him Damien. So me and Damien, we meet up with Chris outside of this establishment, and we decide to look for different entrances into this place. At this point, it's still broad daylight, and this building was on a main intersection, so we really weren't as scared as we usually would be if we were exploring at night. So eventually we get behind the place and we see an unboarded door. I mean, it was completely open, which was very weird because this door was always locked. This door looked freshly open, guys. It literally looked like someone literally just walked in a few moments earlier, but us being stupid, we walked right through it. We walked into this small little laundry room, and there's like another doorway in front of us that leads out of the room. Almost as soon as we walk in, we hear this lady talking, and it sounded exactly like she was a couple feet away from us. So our dumbass thought that this was the same lady who we previously talked to. Now as I'm editing this, I'm starting to think that the people that were squatting inside the building, I'm starting to think that these were the owners. I didn't get a really good look at the owners, but the homeless people, it was literally a husband and a wife, and the owners was literally a guy and a girl, and the lady sounded exactly the same as the homeless lady. This also might be why there was shotgun casings all over the building. The sign inside the building even says they're not responsible for any loss of life. So maybe the owners are just in there upping the switch on random people. But yeah, let's just get right back into it. We then proceed to speak out loud. I forgot what we said, but we said something like, yo, it's the same dudes from earlier. We're just coming to explore, stuff like that. And some other stuff that would assure her that we're not a threat. Now, as soon as we start speaking, we see this lady walk through the doorway into the laundry room, and she looked very angry, bro. Like, she started furiously questioning us on why we were even there. Not too long after, this dude damn near took up the entire doorway. Bro, this big ass dude who was probably 6'4" and 50 years old, he pops up into the doorway. He starts talking and he also sounds very angry, but unlike the lady, he actually sounds like he's trying to squad wipe us, bro. This dude furiously speed walks through the doorway with a long metal pipe in his hand, pushes the lady out of the way, and starts walking up on us. Now, I forgot what he said, but he was basically screaming at us, and we had never had a hostile encounter in this place. At this point in time, I'm thinking these are some crazy tweaker people. I'm thinking there's some homeless people, but they said something about them being the owners and that we were going to be screwed. Now, this whole situation of us being in the room with these people, this lasted about 30 seconds. As soon as me and Chris saw this dude walking up on us, looking like Michael Myers before he took out his victim, we started bolting out of this building, bro. Me and Chris, we start running out of there. We don't even look back. At the time, I was thinking that Damien was right behind us, and I was thinking that we were being chased. Me and Chris, we run full speed, and we run into this parking structure that was like 100 feet away from this place. This is when we realized that Damien was nowhere to be found. At this point, we've been chilling in this parking structure for like 20 seconds, discussing where he could be, where's he at. We were discussing the bus schedule. While we were talking, we see Damien running full speed from the same direction we just came from. And like 15 feet behind him, this old dude was chasing him with a big metal pipe in his hand. He was like trying to swing it at him and shit. And I'm not gonna lie, if he caught up to Damien, he would have actually hurt him very bad, bro. Like, this was a big dude. And this was all happening on a main street with traffic watching the whole thing. Damien runs into the parking structure and meets up with us. The old dude got tired and stopped chasing him, so we started trying to escape this area. Damien is telling us how he stayed in that room. He said those people told him that they were the owners and that they were threatening him and stuff, and that eventually led up to this point. So we start running, guys. We start running to the bus stop that takes us home. We eventually get to this bus stop, and at this point, we're still mad paranoid. Because this bus stop was sitting on the edge of a main intersection. It was literally like right across the street from the building. But our mindset was, as long as we get on this bus, then we were chilling. Guys, tell me why. We're sitting at this bus stop just chilling. We're just having a grand old time. This car speeds up towards us, smashes on the brakes right in front of us. The window comes down and we see the lady that we had just been confronted by a few minutes ago. This lady's sitting in the driver's seat. She rolls the window down. Then she says, she was like on some fucking mafia timing. She says, wait till I get my people on you guys. You guys are so screwed. She says, wait till I get my people on you guys. You guys are so screwed. Then she pulls out her phone and starts taking pictures of us. As soon as she pulled the phone out, bro, we get up and we start running the opposite direction and we run into these apartment buildings. We go to the back where the dumpsters are. People are asking like, what's happening? We briefly tell them a few details and we get behind these dumpsters and start changing our clothes. Now, at this point, guys, I'm like trembling in fear. I had no idea what was happening. All I knew was that these people were the owners and that they were on our tail. At the time, I didn't really believe that they were the owners. I kind of believed that they were the owners, and I kind of thought that they were like some crazy tweaker fools who managed to get a car. We had one crazy dude chasing us with a pipe, another lady tracking us down in her car. I was terrified. I wasn't thinking that when she was talking about she was going to get her people on us, I wasn't thinking about suing or even getting the cops. In my 7th grade mind, I literally thought that she was on some mafia timing. At this point in time, bro, at this moment, I literally thought she was calling like some type of gang or mafia to literally come send us back to the lobby. I had no idea what she meant by what she said, bro. Like, it was so vague. And honestly, I don't even know what that word means. It just sounds like a good description of what was happening at that time. So we're changing clothes, we wait like 10 minutes, then we gotta run a decent distance to get to a different bus stop. Eventually we catch a bus and I'm still shaking with fear, guys. Every time the bus stopped to let anybody inside, I literally envisioned that dude with the pipe to come storming in and start trying to take our heads off. I'm getting paranoid by the cars next to the bus. I'm thinking it's the lady following the bus about to fucking do some shit. I'm getting paranoid of everything, bro. But eventually we all make it home safely. Nothing ever came around nothing ever came out of that situation. For a little while after that, I'd constantly be walking around, like, making sure that nobody was, like, following me. I literally thought that this lady had got a picture of us and, like, sent it to the mafia or something, bro. Like, I was dead ass scared. But yeah, guys, comment down below your thoughts. Comment down below if you had any similar experiences. Stay hydrated, God bless, and I'm out. Peace.